Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Welcome back once again. I'm your Renegade Master, Dreadlock Caster, RedRipz, right here in my house, talking to you about StarCraft. Now, I'm back off my holidays, so I'm here to resume regular CasualCraft service as is planned. And I'll be honest, I'm a little bit ill. I've contracted some sort of cold flu rubbish. So I'll be taking it relatively easy today. I feel, although I'll try and get the best out of myself. Yeah, it's been a good holiday. I've had lots of fun in that, but no, I'm kind of glad to be back at the same time. Now, today's game, we're going to be on Whirlwind, another ladder game here with my friend Betamax Wolfy here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, playing as the red Protoss player. Now, he's going to be starting relatively standardly here. Now, and meanwhile, in the bottom right-hand corner, we have Kathanas, blue Terran player. Now, so we're going to be on a PvT game here today. This should be relatively cool. Now, yeah, no, I've had a good holiday. I've been away to a music festival for the best part of a week, and I think just the volume of drinking vibe has weakened my immune system enough to give me this cold now. So I'm just I'm going to croak along. Probably not be too over the top excitable today, but I'll be all right. It's all good. I'm not overly worried. Now, straight away, we're seeing obviously barracks and refinery coming out here of Kathanas here. Nothing out of the ordinary here. It's not out anywhere on the map or anything. He's not trying to wall in or anything like that. He's just going to be getting his buildings down. Equally, Wolfy here on the bottom left will be getting out his first gateway there. Another pylon coming down and a simulator. All very, very standard stuff. Not really that much to talk about at this stage of the game as his probe will be heading across the map and he'll be having a little scout down here. Now, he has got lucky in this respect here. In the sense that he's straight away scouted his opponent's base out and found out where it is. Meanwhile, his opponent won't actually know where it is. Now, this isn't one of the maps on the ladder that is cross-position only. You can start in any of the four. Sorry, excuse me. You can start in any one of the four corners of the map here. Yeah, with these two Diamond League players, he's gotten quite lucky in that respect and managed to find the opponent's base straight away. Now, we're getting a reactor here out of Kathanas here, so we imagine be double pumping Marines out straight away, or something such like. I'd expect the lack of any sort of further buildings. I imagine he's going to go command center next. It's a relatively safe thing to do really against Protosses, I feel, unless you scout out some sort of rush tactic anyway. I think he should be pretty safe with that. Now, meanwhile, I'm at Wolfy's base, obviously, we've got the cybernetics core coming down, all the usual stuff, and meanwhile he's going to put down a second. So we've seen a gateway expand here out of Wolfy today. Very economical, and Kathanas will be very safe to put down the second command centre, which I imagine he'll be doing before too long, as he is piling up quite a lot of resources there. Now, meanwhile, Wolfy's hidden his little probe down at the bottom here. I would imagine we'll see some sort of pylon here, now as Kathanas does put his new CC down on the high ground here. This is obviously much safer than on the low ground. I mean, he's not trying to block in the wall at the front there entirely, but it means that he can defend it much easier. If he'd built it on the low ground here, obviously Wolfy could just sort of march in with a few men and start attacking it, whereas as it stands, he's going to have to get up this ramp first, which is a lot easier to defend. And it's all very, very nice there, really, there for Kathanas now as he's getting his first two Reapers out. And of course, Reapers don't require Tech Lab anymore, of course, do they? So, yeah, that's the first two of them coming out there. I didn't actually think to check that immediately, but it's all good. It's all good now, and we're obviously getting the warp gate down here out of Wolfy. All very nice. The Reapers for Kathanas will be scouting out, trying to see if they can work out where exactly Wolfy's sitting on this map here today on Whirlwind LE. Now we've got the Stalker out the front here for Wolfy. This should help defend against the Reapers, really, as it can just chase them around all day, getting pop shots off at them, and they're not really going to do that much damage to it. Meanwhile, we see an engineering base coming down out of Kathanas, so I think we'll be seeing a bio build here for him. It's very, very typical. I mean, to be honest, I would like to see more mech play, but no one seems to think it's quite as viable as the bio play, which is so heavily countered by Protoss with Colossi and High Templars that it's also another difficult one to play, really. I'm a little bit stumped for Terrans, really, as to what their options are against Protoss, really. It's certainly a difficult matchup for them. As Kathanas will be exploring the rest of the map here, having a good look around, see if he can find Wolfy's base. Now, he's not actually going to find this until last, as he's straight away wandered right around the map and not found anything at all. So he will have to come right down to the bottom left-hand corner here to find Wolfy's base, where we're getting another gateway up. We're getting a robotics facility down here as well with the observer coming out. And I'd imagine we'll be seeing Colossi and things out before too long. We're getting a forge down first and another gateway. So maybe he's going to be getting out some Immortals here. Or possibly going for a Warp Prism drop. Everyone likes the Warp Prism, and yes, straight away an Immortal coming down here, so this is all very nice. Very, very good. We've got a Zealot and a Stalker at the front with a sentry just behind it here, as the Reapers will be coming up the front ramp now for Wolfy, so we'll see what he's going to do about this. Basically, we shouldn't really have too much of an issue with dealing with this for Wolfy, as long as he just micros the Zealot away from Reapers before they do too much there, and obviously, yeah, the Reapers are just going to get chased off completely, so that's all very nice. Meanwhile, we're seeing the Observer head over for Wolfy there on the minimap. And so we're just checking out Kathanas' second base, having a good little look around, see what he's up to, and he'll be probably scouting out all this tech that we've got here now. We've got the factory down, we've got the starport down, and that's a reactor going up there. So we're going to be seeing the typical sort of biomine type play here out of Kathanas, I imagine. It's incredibly popular at the moment. It's also a lot of fun to play as well. Bio is a very enjoyable type of play, I feel, out of Terrans, and it's certainly the one that's I find a bit easier anyway than meching, which is a lot more challenging and actually kind of doesn't carry as many rewards as you'd hope it would, which is, I guess, the biggest problem with it really against a lot of players, as they don't really go for the mech strategy just because it's quite risky and isn't guaranteed to work really. I mean, I know Bio's not particularly guaranteed either, but it's just not quite as strong, I don't think. I mean, it. Like, mech has a lot going for it, but it's the sieging and the re-sieging. If you get caught out of position once, your whole army can just fall, and it's a real pain in the arse there for Terrans. So we'll be seeing more barracks coming down here, and it is going to be mass bio here, as I thought. Nothing too complicated coming out now. We've seen the stim packs finish up before too long. The first medivacs are coming out, and 2 more barracks coming down. All very tasty stuff here for Kathanas. Now, meanwhile, in Wolfy's base, he's getting a little force together at the front. We're seeing Zealots, seeing a few mortals and things down. We're not seeing too much else out. We're also seeing the Twilight Council and the Robotics Bay come down now, so it looks like we've seen Colossi here out of them before too long. Colossuses? Colossi? Colossi? Colossi. I'll go with Colossi. Which I think is actually correct. So, yeah, we'll be doing that there for Wolfy here now, as he's actually getting his, another observer across to Kathanas' base, so we can get a good scout of what's going on here. Kathanas hasn't actually spotted this observer yet, otherwise we've probably seen a scan come down by now. Just to get rid of that and stop the... help him deny the information gathering here of Wolfy, who's actually playing a really good little game here, Wolfy, to be honest. He's getting his stuff out, he's getting Colossi out now, he's nicely sort of walled up at the front, and he is getting some cannons down there, I saw on the thing. Let's just see if we can spot where those are. And those behind his mineral lines. So that's just essentially just to defend for drops and things. Nothing too out of this world. I'm not thinking we're going to be seeing mass cannons or anything like that, which tends to be a lower league thing. And yeah, we'll be looking like we're getting a very traditional sort of death ball composition here out of Wolfy now. He's getting the extended thermal lance down, he's getting down his ground armour and things, and he's getting also his Colossi out. So it's going to be the usual sort of death ball with Colossi on top, and then you imagine seeing high Templars and things coming out later to get those storms down on top of these this mass marine force here of Kathanas. As Kathanas has chosen to move out now, Wolfy's completely aware of this course with his observer nicely stationed over the army, or at least it was until Kathanas moved out. So he will be watching that, and should be pretty well prepared for it looking like this. I mean, we've got a few units down, we're getting a bunch of sentries here at the front, we're getting extra stalkers just to help support this, and obviously with the Colossi just behind all this, a couple of force fields on the side of the ramp just to sort of control where the angle of attack is, and you should be able to get a really nice concave on there. You should be able to get a really nice AoE attack on this concave there. Now, it's unfortunate for Wolfy there that Kathanas was able to see that observer and scan that, which means that Wolfy isn't entirely sure what Kathanas is going to be doing right now. He did seem load up though, so he will be expecting some sort of drop. However, he might not actually react to it until he knows exactly where it's coming from now. As Kathanas will be trying to move at the front ramp here, getting a little bit of a poke on, not really too much out of the ordinary here. Seeing more troops coming up here for Kathanas, all very good, very tasty stuff. Lots and lots of niceties there. Now we're seeing combat shields finish up here, all the usual sort of things there. We're getting the Vikings out now out the starport to help deal with the Colossi, and we're also getting a third command centre down here for Kathanas, as he's going to be teching into the tier 2 and 3 sort of bio composition where you're getting your upgrades out. You've got all your stuff down. His engineering base coming down now, and he's even getting an armory out. So we should be seeing some either some air defense upgrades or attack upgrades for the Vikings, or possibly some Hellbats or something like that. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a few Hellbats in for drops or something, but it's a bit late really for the sort of standard timing now, so that's not too interesting. Meanwhile, getting a little drop here at the bottom of the base here for Kathanas, so we'll be seeing the planetary nexus there just starting to take this out. There isn't really that much in the way of forces there, and he was able to take out a building there at the bottom. Nothing too much, I don't think. I was the Bay or anything. No, he's still going to be able to get Colossi out, so this should be pretty effective here. Meanwhile, Kathanas will be going for a second drop. He's going to move units around and see more pylons and cannons and stuff coming down here at the front here, and we're going to see just general sort of jiggly-pokery here from Kathanas, although I don't think it's going to be too effective, as Wolfy is going to be able to sort of sit on that. And Kathanas has actually kind of moved his army at the back of the base now. I'm a little bit surprised to see Wolfy not responding to this slightly quicker. Really. He's actually ended up losing a gateway here, which is really unfortunate for him. I think he could have dealt with this a little bit better, but never mind. He's managed to fight it off, and the medevac will be storming out. Will be zooming out of there as it does now, as Kathanas is starting to get his death ball going at the front here. We're also seeing a third base down out of him there as well. That's now moved in and started mining down with the mules there. All very tasty stuff. Meanwhile, we've got the observer sitting here over the Wolfy's third. Now, I'd imagine he'd be going for a third of his own before too long, as you don't really want to sit on two bases for too long, especially when your opponent's got a third up. So we should be seeing something like that out of him before too long. Although we'll have to wait and see. Now, he's going to be getting with a forge down, so he's going to be rushing out the higher level upgrades there for his ground units, and that should be very, very nice as we see the first few of the High Templars come out. We're going to see the Storm finish up before too long, I think. Not sure what happened there exactly, but yeah, no, we should be seeing Storm finish up before too long. Also getting Charge out and just general upgrades and stuff for both players there. Now, meanwhile, Kathanas is just building up and up and up his army. He's getting his level 2 upgrades out now on both of his engineering base. He's not making any advantage of this this armory yet, so we'll have to wait and see what he's going to do with that. He might start building Hellbats or something before too long. He's actually supply blocked himself at the moment. So he's going to be a little minute while he gets down the extra supply that he needs, but it shouldn't be too much longer there. We're seeing another starport come down, so I imagine we're seeing a lot more Vikings come out here for Kathanas to help deal with these Colossi nice and quickly. You want more than just a couple to deal with that, really, if you can, as it's you really do need to take them down quickly, otherwise your Bioforce just dies. Now, top of the map, meanwhile, Kathanas is taking a nice long detour right up and around the top here of the map to come and get in a third drop here on the top of Wolfy's base, although he's not really going to be able to do too much there, as he's going to be able to see from the scan, as there are just loads of photon cannons there. So unless he can get perhaps right around the back here and drop there, maybe he might struggle. So we'll wait and see what he does. He's going to be stopping here. He's actually going to be dropping in this base now. As Wolfy's actually just at that very moment going to be putting down his third base, which is really unfortunate timing for Wolfy. And really, to be honest, I don't think Kathanas should have actually bothered picking up there. If he'd had that few extra seconds, he could have destroyed this much quicker, and he's actually going to have to be a cancel there for Wolfy. He just moves his armor up into this base now, and we should be seeing this be cleared up pretty quickly, although it's going to delay the third base of Wolfy quite substantially actually now. We're actually seeing another drop here in the bottom right hand corner of Wolfy's main base here from Kathanas, as Kathanas has now rocketed up to nearly 200 supply, and he's going to be ready to move out pretty soon here with his huge Bioforce. These are just little attacks just to help keep Wolfy on his toes and sort of keep him try and keep his army away from the front here, as he was forced to move a lot of it away there. That could have been quite risky there if Kathanas had chosen to move in at the same time up the ramp. He might have been able to make some real ground there. We're also seeing some planetary, the command center coming out the front here. Now this is a bit of a funny position to build it, really. He's not bothered building it anywhere particularly safe. I mean, it's out the front of his base, but it's not kind of that well defended. And now we're seeing yet another drop here in the third base here of Wolfy. He's forced to cancel yet again there. He's really going to struggle to keep defending this unless he keeps some units up here, as there really isn't anything that much there now, as Kathanas will be moving on for his 3-3 upgrades there. He's also getting the Mobius reactor out here for his ghosts there, so he will be looking to get feedbacks on for to basically just to take out the Protoss army, because that's how you're going to have to deal with this now. We've seen a storm come down there on the army of Kathanas, so that's not really going to do too much. Didn't kill anything, although that second storm was quite good. Got a couple down, although we're going to actually see some of the High Templars fall here, so that wasn't entirely worth it, perhaps. I'm not sure. Perhaps if he hadn't ran the rest of the troops up the ramp, he might have had more success there. Meanwhile, we've got another little drop in at the base here for Kathanas. He's just chilling, it seems, not really doing too much there. This might move in before too long. Yep, there we go. Now we're going to see this photon cannon fall pretty quickly here, as the Medivac should be able to keep these Marauders alive, as unfortunately the Medivac wasn't able to get targeted down there by Wolfy. Meanwhile, I can see Wolfy's whole army push up to this top here. He's going to have to, as I thought, he's going to have to sit on this and try and help hold this there, as the Medivacs will be getting away again and again and again with these single Marauders in, which is just so damn irritating to deal with when you've got these little drops coming in all the time. It forces the Protoss army to run backwards and forwards. And really, this is the idea. You've just got to keep doing that while you get your own 200 army up, so you can go in and attack. Now, I'm a little bit miffed as to why Kathanas hasn't already moved out here. He's had this really high population supply for a very, very long time. I mean, yeah, he didn't perhaps have as many Vikings as he might have needed to take out the Colossi. However, I still feel that when the army was pulled away, like up here and stuff, he could have very easily sort of pushed up the ramp, done some damage, and even just forced his way further up into the base. Although, I mean, I suppose he could have been outflanked then by Wolfy, but that wouldn't have necessarily been a bad thing, as he might have been, like, if you're in this sort of position down here, you can get a really tight sort of line in there and have a nice concave around the back of here, and that means that Wolfy's army is forced into this small area here, which would essentially mean that you're going to get a lot more damage on the front units with your nice big concave, and the Colossi, yeah, they're going to be good against your army, but you're going to get a lot more damage done than you would in a big open conflict there. Now we're seeing Kathanas move out here again. He's going to have a little wander around the map, not really doing too much there. We've seen double Robo coming out here from Wolfy, so it looks like we're just going to mass Colossi from this stage, especially to block this guy in. There on the main base there. Now we're also seeing a third just finish up here for Wolfy. He's going to start probing this thing up, and it should all be looking very tasty now. So yeah, we've seen the planetary fortress come down at the front here for Kathanas. I guess this is defensive, although you can kind of just walk around it really. I'm not entirely sure what this is defending. I mean, to be honest, if he was looking to defend with this thing, he should have probably built it back here somewhere maybe, or like I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure about that decision, but perhaps it's something he's seen someone pull off quite well before, and I'm just not entirely aware of the background to that there. So yeah, we're seeing the shields upgrade coming out here out of Wolfy here, so it looks like we'll be getting some Archons down. We've got one down already. We're going to see a few more, I'd imagine, before too long. And these guys are just great at soaking up damage, but also brilliant at dealing mass damage to the huge amount of bio that we've got going on here from Kathanas, as he will be building more planetary fortresses up right across the map here in some sort of crazed attempt to try and wall Wolfy in, I guess. I'm not really sure what exactly he's going for here with this, but he's we're going to be seeing a lot of command centres come down, so I imagine all these are going to be turned into planetary fortresses. I'm not really sure what his crack is exactly, although he does have a fourth base down now as well. He's getting extra like macro command centres out as well now for the additional mules, so I'd really hope we'd be seeing some sort of engagement sometime too, and it's been quite slow in that respect really, as we've just seen sort of little bits here and there. Both players have now hit their full 200 supply, and I'm just a little bit miffed really as to what Kathanas is sort of sitting on his arse for, really. I mean, he's macroing up and stuff, but he's not really got enough of a contain on to really deny Wolfy any further expansions. I mean, Wolfy's got this third up now, he could easily move in for a fourth down here. There really isn't that much to worry about there in that respect for him. We have seen a lot of ghosts come out of Kathanas now, though, so we should be seeing some feedbacks here on... some EMPs, sorry, I keep saying feedback, I mean EMP. We should be seeing some EMPs on the Protoss units here, especially the Archons. It should be very good again with those. Actually, most of this little force here that was, I think, scouting for Kathanas there. I'd imagine he was just probably making sure there wasn't a fourth base up there. Although he's actually quite successfully pulled away the thick of a good bit of Wolfy's army there, and he's actually managed to move up into this third. And it looks like he might be able to not quite take a gateway down there. That was quite unlucky. However, the cannons were able to defend that quite nicely with the little bit of army support here. As the death ball of Wolfy will be bouncing around the middle of the map here. Now, it does look like he's finally decided to move out here, as he has actually now taken a supply lead, which I'm not sure he'll be aware of, but I guess if you just kill off those few units, you should be pretty aware of this. And we're seeing all these planetary fortresses coming up, but this is just turning a huge waste of money here for Kathanas, as they will be getting taken out one at a time before the army of Kathanas can get near it now. I wish Kathanas had come in earlier on this one, because he had a nice advantage in sort of army scale. He was doing very well in that respect. He was ahead in economy, because he managed to deny that third base so successfully. But since he's sat around for so long, and I mean, yeah, he's building nukes now, but I'm not sure what he's going to do now at this point, because I just feel like he's sort of thrown it away a little bit. He had the advantage, you need to take advantage of that and like push the advantage, as you know, as they say, but like he just didn't do that at all. He just sort of sat on his bum and built up a death ball and then sent it in little bits and just sort of killing it off gradually. I'm not really sure what he's doing. I mean, maybe he's looking to replace most of his army with ghosts or something and just mass nuke or something like that. But when you've got a Protoss who's fully like death balled up, he's got his AoEs coming out left, right and centre. I mean, we've got 5 Colossi out now. This is a really difficult thing for a bio army to deal with unless you've got a lot of Vikings out. And if we just take a quick look at the unit stat, there's only actually 8 Vikings out here for Kathanas, so that's not really enough to deal as much damage as he's going to need to do against the massive death ball here that Wolfy's got going on. So yeah, I'm interested to see. I mean, he is basing up. He's got loads and loads of bases now. I think this is his 5th base. I'm actually going to see a nuke down here on the front of Wolfy's base there, although it's not going to kill really anything worthwhile, to be honest. And in fact, I think the actual ghost himself is just going to be pretty much straight up knocked out without too much bother here. I mean, yeah, we're going to get not even one building. We saw a cannon go down. I think there was a pylon drop there, yeah, as well. That was about it. Maybe a couple of probes on the side of that. Really nothing much to shout home about there for Kathanas. I'm not really sure what I was hoping to do there, since Wolfy's already sat on full 200. Meanwhile, this is actually much better. We're seeing a little bit of an engagement coming in here at the top for Kathanas. He's actually going to just take out this extra base before he even finishes there. He got the cancel on it for Wolfy, but it wasn't really ideal for him, as that nuke did really successfully distract Wolfy away from the real attack, which I think was Kathanas' base up here now. Kathanas moving on the base up here now. Meanwhile, of course, Kathanas will be moving around. He's going to be defending against these pylons, which have gone down left, right and centre. We're seeing mass ghosts coming out here. Well, mass nukes coming out here, sorry. As we've got so many ghost academies up, it's really quite good. Now, I mean, the planetary forces aren't doing anything at all worthwhile here, I'll be honest. There's really not... I don't think they've killed anything yet. That one didn't. I don't think the other one did particularly. As both players are still just going to be sort of sitting around the middle of the map, just bouncing backwards and forwards and just trying to work out what's going on. Now, that was some very nice feedbacks there, removing all the energy off those ghosts. Exactly at the moment that I took to take a swig of my cup of tea to try and clear my throat a little bit, because God, I'm blocked up today. Oh, excuse me. Now, in Wolfy's base here, we've seen the Dark Shrine come out, hidden away at the back of his third. This is actually a really safe position for it to be in, as there's not really much way that Kathanas can get in there. If Wolfy can hold off this top entrance here, they shouldn't be able to get any drops in there on the back, and that makes it a really safe Dark Shrine. And it should allow him to just harass a little bit more in the extra bases. I don't think Kathanas really has any vision up in his additional bases. And obviously the planetary fortresses can't see a thing in that respect. So yeah, and meanwhile Wolfy's moving around the bottom of the map here. We're going to be taking out these extra PFs here around the bottom. Actually, I think I haven't made it into a PF there. I didn't quite see that, but never mind, we're looking good, looking good. So Wolfy's going to be completely moving up into the front of Kathanas' base now. This is just going to go through everything at this rate. We're seeing Kathanas' army miles and miles out of position as it just sort of sorting its way down the map. We are going to see extra bases lost here for Wolfy, for Kathanas, which is really unfortunate for him. Meanwhile, on Wolfy's additional base, I'm not sure is that going to finish up. You got the no, I think you got the cancel on that, which is really unfortunate now. But actually, I've seen the storms coming down here in the middle of Kathanas' army there, and loads of units die here as the supply is dropping so rapidly here, which is really unfortunate for him. Now he needs to really try and split up a bit more, try and focus down the Colossi, but I really just let Wolfy get way out of control and just build an absolutely massive death ball. And I really don't see how Kathanas is hoping to fight off this this assault here at the moment from Wolfy here, as his supply is maintaining ahead, although not too far ahead there. He's only sort of 15, 16 supply ahead now at this point, so it's not too bad. Sorry, 12 supply. So that's all right, really. We're seeing a whole massive warp in though here for Wolfy again. This is all quite defensive comparatively. It's quite far back. We're not seeing any real forward pylons go down, other than the ones at the top of the map here, which I imagine are going to be used for harassment before too long. I would be imagining we'll see some DTs in there before too long. We're seeing the extra Colossi come out of Wolfy here. And everything's looking very good for both players now. So we're actually looking for Wolfy here now, really, as Kathanas is just sort of struggling really to get through this now. I mean, he keeps trying to pressure in the extra bases, but he's just not really doing anything much with it. There's never any micro on those units. He's just sort of sending them in and then letting them die, really. It's a bit of a shame, really. Meanwhile, he's building more and more planetary fortresses across the middle of the map, like they do anything at all to this death ball. Yeah, it looks like essentially Wolfy will just be powering ahead in this game as his supply rockets back up to 200 supply, merely 137 here for Kathanas, which is frankly crappy. We've also got 3 DTs working down these Ghost Academies here, so I would imagine we'll be seeing the end of these nukes before too long, which basically Kathanas hasn't made any use of whatsoever. He doesn't have any build up or anything like that. He only sent the one down over the course of the game so far. We've got DTs once again, the top base here of Kathanas here, and the whole economy here of Kathanas is just going to be really struggling here. There's absolutely nothing here to defend this. Even with the scans going down now as the army of Kathanas moves up the map, it's not really going to stop too much in the way of what the DTs were doing there. And we might even see this Ghost Academy fall here, unless we can see some sort of response here out of Wolfy now, as the DT will be coming back down into the base again. Can he get that? Oh, yes he can. Yes he can. Now we're going to see this Ghost Academy repaired. Yep, there we go. Beautiful there out of Kathanas. That was nice rescue there. As Wolfy will be expanding to the top left of the map here. I like the way that Kathanas is trying to hold the middle here. He's just not really doing it that effectively, because planetary fortresses are just sort of, well, you just walk in and kill them, really. I mean, this Deathball army here can absolutely stomp over any single one of those, and if you just approach from the right angle, I mean, there's no reason to run in the middle and sit here and engage 3 or 4 at once. There's just doesn't make any sense. As long as you engage it from the right angle, there shouldn't be a reason why it shouldn't fail. Although, interesting enough, it looks like they're not quite in range of that planetary fortress there, which is really unfortunate there for Kathanas. He could have had a whole lot of probe kills there, which would have been really nice for him. As Wolfy's top left-hand corner base will be finishing up. And we'll be seeing the Ghost scout this out now before too long here. He's actually going to be nuking a empty base there for some insane reason. I'm not sure why though, but Wolfy is going to be moving into the main base of Kathanas now, and I think this could well be the end of Kathanas' main base here, as all his tech is going to fall with this humongous force of Zealots and Colossi. We've got the odd sort of Stalker and Immortal, and I think there's a couple of Archons and High Templars wandering around as well, but really, with this many sort of troops and this many Colossi out, there's really just not much Kathanas can do at this stage other than try and engage the Colossi from the back with these Vikings here. And yeah, they'll be picking off 1 or 2, but with this many Stalkers on the floor to just jump around underneath them as well, all these Vikings will be falling before they do anything in the way too much. They might take out maybe 3 Colossi at most. Are we going to see the end of that? Not quite, as the storms go down right on top of Kathanas' army there, and everything's losing health here. All the medivacs are gradually dying off, and I just feel sorry for Kathanas at this stage, because he's tried to get the nukes out, he's tried to play cleverly, but he's just not quite pulled any of it off, and it's a real shame for the player there, as his main base will be completely falling now, and he's going to be going back down to a mere 4 mining bases. I say with a heavy hint of sarcasm in my voice there, as 4 mining bases. It's pretty damn good, really, for any player, especially after you've lost your main base so nastily there. Now we're actually seeing the level 3 upgrades coming out here for the shields here for our Protoss player Wolfy here, as he's going to be going for the 3rd upgrade there. which is not always the rarest thing, but it's especially when you've seen a lot of this Archon play. But like we've got 3-3 on everything now here for Wolfy, and he's just looking really nasty here. Because he's just going to be pushing this army back, chasing it away. There's a good 50 supply difference there. Although actually we need a few zealots there that first PF, but not too much in the way really. It's just looking difficult here for Kathanas here, and I'm sort of a little bit sceptical about what he's actually going to be able to do. I mean, especially with storms coming down like that, where the troops are just absolutely losing loads and loads of health. I mean, kind of unfortunate really for Wolfy that he didn't manage to take out one of his medibacks there, as they really were on low health, and it's not always the best there. Meanwhile, at Wolfy here, we're getting the assimilators down at the top base here. He'll be continuing his armies, his mineral supply and gas supply rising the best he can. He's banking up loads and loads of resources here, so he should be here for a good period of time, even if he is to lose any bases. Meanwhile, Kathanas is having absolutely everything he has destroyed. There's not really anything much going on for me. He's got this tiny force sort of wandering on the middle of the map. And yes, we've got reinforcements wandering around, but it's just not enough to help him here at this stage. As his army's just tumbling. All his supplies dying. Every single storm he's managed to walk right the way through the middle, and it's just unfortunate here. I think he's had quite an unlucky game in many respects there. He's not really sort of managed to kind of get anything much done with any of his little supply, any of his little sort of prods in. I mean, he had a much better economy earlier in the game, in the sense that he got his third out much earlier, and he managed to deny that third of Wolfy's. But when he had the army advantage, and when he had that advantage, he didn't really take that much of it. He just sort of sat back and let Wolfy recover and build up a fresh force, which actually essentially allowed Wolfy to get out this thing that we're looking at here, which is just totally obliterating everything that Kathanas can do at the moment, as he's actually now supply blocked on a mere 105 supply, and it's looking really painful here for Kathanas unless he can get anything really nice out here in this game. Now we've also seen the DTs wander all around the bases here of Kathanas here as well, dealing so much damage, and even with the planetary fortresses down, it's quite difficult here for Kathanas to do much. I mean, I'd kind of like to see perhaps some slightly better focus out of Wolfy there. He's not really going to be doing anything much in the way of defeating these, especially with this many SCVs just stood in the mineral line. You really have to focus down the vision first, and then failing that, then the SCVs are the best way to go, I think, because you can actually take out some SCVs with the DTs before they die. Meanwhile, this massive Stalker force moving through the middle of the map here for Wolfy. He's got so many resources down, so many gateways. He can just happily just churn out this army anytime he needs to maintain on this sort of 180, 200 supply sort of level. Meanwhile, Kathanas is once again supply blocked at 109 supplies. Really not seeing much happen here, as the rest of his PFs in the middle will be falling. And the forces of Wolfy will be just moving across the map to come and finish him off now. And it's a bit of a shame, really. I was hoping for a better fight here out of Kathanas, but he's just absolutely falling apart here. I mean, he got a lot of ghosts out, and had he managed to make perhaps a bit more use of the nukes and maybe make better use of the EMPs and stuff, he might have had a better chance. But really, if he just insists on continuing to nuke his own ghost, and I'm not sure really what he was trying to do there. Like, he's just nuking a few gateways at the front is doing absolutely nothing when you could be dropping it on mineral lines. You know, it's a real shame. But yeah, and I think that pretty much sums up the game, to be honest. I mean, I would have, yeah, like I would have liked to have seen, like, just, I don't know, just more aggressive play out of Kathanas, really. I mean, he was trying. He did do his best to sort of harass Wolfy, but Wolfy just sat there and built an army. He kind of ignored the harassment. He got out extra bases eventually, and just sort of kept playing the game, kept building stuff, and eventually had the death ball up, which just absolutely crushes any sort of bio army there. I mean, yeah, we've got Mass Stalker in the end, but I think that's just because of the sheer amount of money and the need to overwhelm his opponent with mass forces. He's just gone all over him, really. So yeah, another good game there. I'm feeling a little bit better for talking a bit more, although to be honest, I'm still absolutely full of cold. Yeah, well, thank you once again for watching the game. I'll be back with more content tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe, all the usual good stuff. And I've been RedRipz, your Dreadlock caster. Thanks again, and GG to both players.